Hari Om. In this video, we are going to discuss how the members of a class are initialized. Initializing is nothing but assigning some initial values to each and every individual data members at the time of declaration itself. In the class definition itself, we are going to assign some initial values which will become the default values for all these variables. This is an example. Here this is an instance variable. This is a static variable. Again, string name is an instance variable. Vehicle is also an instance variable, but it is an object type. These are integer and double. These are the value data types, whereas string and char are the reference data type. And all these values are being initialized in the class definition itself. So in the class definition itself, if you assign a value to a variable, you call it as member initialization in the class definition. When initialized in the class, values are assigned as follows. If it is a static variable, these are assigned with initial values when the class is loaded, because static variables, you are going to have only one copy of a static variable for the entire set of objects of that particular class. So these will be assigned with initial values when the class is loaded in your program itself, whereas the instance variables will be assigned when an object is created. Otherwise, C# default values are assigned there. So if you have not initialized it, say for example, if you have not initialized number equal to 100, if you have simply said int number semicolon without this initial value. So what happens? We have already seen when you define a class, all the data members will be initialized with default values. Default values we have seen. For integer it is going to be 0.0. For float it is going to be 0.0f. For boolean it is going to be false. Like that we have seen list of default values for the different data types. So if you have not initialized inside the class definition, automatically this variable will get the default value as 0.0. The same way, if you have not initialized like this, if you have simply said string name semicolon, vehicle car semicolon, so that means you have not initialized. By the time, since both of them are reference data type, a null value, which is the default value for reference data type, will be assigned to name and car. And if you have not said static double x is equal to 1.0, you have not given this value, instead you have said static double x semicolon. That means you have not initialized it. If so, the default value will be 0.0 for x. So that is what is said here. In the if the static variables are initialized, these initial values will be loaded to the variable when the class is loaded. The same way, when an object is created, the instance variables will be assigned with initial values. If you have not given initial values, the default values will be assigned to the static member as well as the instance member. This is an example. I have given some initial value here. This is an integer data type, long data type. This is a string array and this is an object. So what happens when the class is loaded? When the class is loaded, if there is a string, if there is a static variable, it will be assigned with the initial value. These are the instance variables. You don't have a static variable here, only instance variables are there. These instance variables will be assigned with initial values whenever you create a new object of this particular class. This is how members will be initialized. Apart from that, in any class you can have a reference called as this reference. So this is a reference to the object that called the particular method. It is generally used to distinguish the local variables and the instance variables. If the local variables and instance variables are having same name, and to distinguish them I can use this reference. You can access the field in the class using this dot my field. Say for example, this dot do by method. So this is a data member, this is a method member. You can access the data member and the method member using the this reference, and also you can access the constructor using the this reference just by saying this and the parameters, provided if you have declared a parameterized constructor with two parameters. So your this reference can be used to access a field in the class, a method in the class, or the constructor of that particular class. All these things can be accessed using the this reference. So whichever object is currently referred, the this reference will be referring that particular object. Whichever object is currently active, that object will be referred using the this reference. So every time it will be changing. There will be only one object currently active at a particular time. So at time t1 there is going to be only one object which is alive, that will be referred using the this reference. This is an example. We have seen it is used to distinguish local and instance variables that have the same name. This is an example here. I have declared a class. I am having a variable data member int x. This is the constructor. In the constructor, I am passing a parameter again int x. And observe here, this is a local variable for the constructor and this is the data member of the class. So inside this constructor, if you want to manipulate with this x and this x, there is going to be a conflict. Whether I am referring this x or this x cannot be understood by the machine. So what I am going to do, if I am referring this particular variable which is the data member of the class, I will use this dot x so that automatically system understands it is the data member. If you have given just x, it will understand it is going to be the local variable of that particular method. So to overcome this kind of conflicts in your program, you can use the this reference. That is the main purpose of using the this reference. Okay. So let us stop here. Thank you for watching.